Welcome to Growing Your Team, a podcast designed for small business owners seeking to grow their company with the help of employees and contractors. Your time is limited, which means growing and leveraging teams is essential for business success. The Growing Your Team podcast is the place to learn tips and techniques designed to help you know when it's the right time to hire, how to select perfect fit team members, and how to maximize productivity while creating a positive work environment. Drawing from her 10-plus years of leadership and hiring experience, here is your host, Jamie Van Kuyk.
Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. I am so excited this week because this Friday marks my 10-year wedding anniversary with my husband. And while we couldn't go very far, and pretty much all of our original vacation plans and ways that we were going to celebrate were kind of put on hold because with coronavirus restrictions, it didn't seem like the best time to go. We are having a little bit of a weekend away. But I want to tell you about our wedding venue and how our wedding venue was a complete joke. And before you sit there and skip this episode saying, wait, this is a podcast about growing your team, leading your team. We don't want to hear about your wedding venue. Trust me, this is 100% relevant to how you are leading your teams and how you are hiring. So while this is a personal example of mine, I see this over and over and over again in people's businesses. So bear with me, and you'll understand once we get through the story. All right. So 10 years ago, I married my husband at what ended up being the most perfect venue for us. But it was a venue I added to our list as a joke. When it came time to plan our wedding, I was going to be in charge. Naturally, I am the planner. I am the leader in our family when it comes to things that need to get done, things that you probably need to create a list for, or create a plan for, or look at a checklist to make sure you do all the things. That is really my role where I naturally fit into. And my husband, he's great at a lot of things, but when it comes to the big planning things, even he will tell you that's my role and my responsibility. But I really wanted my soon-to-be husband to help. So if we look at this, I was filling the wedding boss role, and I wanted him to be my worker. So in a way, be able to help me execute things, but I was really going to be the one to make the decision and determine what we were doing. But I knew I had to walk this delicate line, one where I got his opinions and made him feel involved while still leading him to the decision I wanted. Because after all, while it's our wedding, a woman typically has a lot more of the role in the wedding planning traditionally. And I wanted to make sure that when I looked back, it was a day that I loved and I remembered for the positive things and really being that perfect day. So our first big decision was selecting the wedding venue. He wanted a beach wedding, and I wanted sand nowhere near my dress or my shoes, nor did I want to melt in the sun while saying I do. So we sat down at our computers to find our wedding location that had amazing beach views with a ceremony location that did not involve sand. That was our compromise. That's what we were going to do. And there, in the middle of the beach wedding venues, was the Florida Aquarium. Wait. An aquarium is not quite the beach, but I guess there's water, right? So as a 100% joke, I turn and say to Derek, look, we can get married at the aquarium. And before I could even start to chuckle, he says, yes, that is awesome. We must add it to our potential venues list. And I was like, in my head, like, wait, what? Like, I wasn't serious. Getting married at an aquarium was nowhere on my wedding plans list. Some of the venues like that, I look at other people and I'm like, oh, that's so them, but that's so not me. But I had a choice to make here. I could say yes just to please him, or I could say no and then risk distancing him or having him distance himself from all the other wedding work, with him being like, you don't really want my opinion, just do it yourself. And I didn't want that. I wanted him to be involved and have this really be our day, like him feeling like he was a part of this entire process and looking back and having being our wedding, not just my wedding, even though I really wanted to be in charge of all the decisions. For the long run, I needed his help. So to please my fiance, we scheduled a tour hoping he would see how horrible of an idea it was for this to be our wedding venue. And by the end of the visit, it was clear. The venue was exactly what we wanted and needed, including water views with no sand. And how many people get to say they got married in front of a tank full of fish and sea turtles and the occasional sharks around? So the moral of that story is our lives, our experiences, our points of view give us blinders. When we only care about our way or our wants, we end up being a bunch of task doers and not a real team. This is exactly what I see with a ton of businesses that I've worked with. It's a bunch of people doing random tasks and not actually operating as a team. And a lot of the time, the cause is thinking of hiring as individuals instead of hiring someone for the team. So you sit there and say, who can do these tasks, and not who can fit into the company? Who can I really trust? Who can fulfill the entire role that I need of the big business, the bigger picture, and not just do the tasks? But when you have a hiring process that leads you to hiring the right people and not just filling positions with bodies, you can trust their views and opinions. Your team members should always be more than doers of tasks. There's so much more value in them. And if you think about it, this is something that we just recently talked about on episode 60 with Molly McGrath. She talked about how you need to avoid just hiring task doers. So go back and listen to that episode and just remind yourself about what is the purpose of hiring. And it's more than just having someone do tasks. Hire right. Your goal should be to hire right and then let your team members operate at their fullest potential. That's what creates the perfect employee-employer match relationship, and one that can stand the test of time. So when you hire people, trust them for their opinion, trust them for their expertise. They could bring things to your eyes that you would have never thought of, but is exactly what your business needs to get ahead, to serve your customers, to create your products, or do what is needed so you can continue to scale your business and reach the business's goals and then your individual goals. I know for me, if I didn't give my now husband's opinions and views a chance, I would have never had that dream wedding that I look back now 10 years later and say, yes, that was amazing. That venue was exactly what we needed. If I didn't trust him, who knows where we would have got married. But I can guarantee you it would have not given us the same experience, that it would not felt 100% perfect for us. And yes, I am sitting here and admitting that the only reason that I said yes to visiting the aquarium was to make him feel good, and not because at that point in time that I actually trusted his opinion and views. I was doing it to help him see why it wouldn't work instead of supporting it. So yes, I too have made mistakes in this area, but just because you've made mistakes in this area in the past doesn't mean that you can't change for the future. So start trusting your team members that you currently have and start hiring the team members that are going to be good for the overall picture of your business and not just doers of tasks.
And that wraps up this episode of the Growing Your Team podcast. Do you have questions about anything discussed in today's episode? Or do you have other questions related to hiring and managing your team? then I invite you to join us over in the Growing Your Team Facebook community. The group is designed to provide you support as you grow and manage the team who will save you time and earn both you and your business more. So come on over and join us in the Growing Your Team Facebook group, and let's grow you the team that you need and deserve.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Growing Your Team with your host, Jamie Van Kuyk. Be sure to subscribe and head on over to growingyourteam.com to connect, access the show notes, and discover more ways to hire and leverage your perfect fit team.